Hello family, welcome back to Just K. To all my subscribers, thank you for being here. Thank you for joining me again. I appreciate you. If you're new here, sit back and get comfortable while we talk about everything that has to do with health. In my last video, it was part 2 of healthcare disparities video, which I will pin here. If you want to see where this talk all started, I will also pin number 1 right here. I told you in that video that I would relate some current healthcare issues and disparities to the history that I gave you in part 1 and part 2. The first thing I'm going to say is there is a disproportionate amount of black women dying in childbirth based on not being heard or listened to after the birth, whether it be bleeding incident, unusual symptoms. Now keep in mind that goes all the way back. Check out the videos if you want to know the history of that. There are instances of, even just since Corona started, there was a black man in Detroit who actually passed away because he went to an emergency room and they told him it was just the flu. He got sicker. I believe he went to another one and they sent him home again before he ultimately passed away at his home. My own daughter was denied pain medication during a dental procedure, telling her that they just needed to get through the procedure. I've walked into a physician's office with no thoughts in mind of pain medication. In fact, the problem was probably, I don't know, something on a body part that I wanted checked out. And before even reading my chart, the physician says, well, I don't prescribe pain medications. Okay. A, I didn't ask for pain medication. B, why not? Makes sense. I will tell you that I have seen instances where with all my conditions, there was a time when pain medication was thrown at me. Good thing I didn't accept it. But the point is as soon as certain laws change, and then the people of color are the ones affected by it, whether it be medicine-wise, system-wise, housing, whatever. In my work life, I have had many of arguments with my superiors over the use of phrases like nappy hair, not for just me, but for the few other people of color who work there. I have had to defend people of color because they were called aggressive when there was nothing aggressive about them. I have had to defend my culture when it was said that we don't care about our health and we don't get health insurance, and so we're not worthy of that resource. I have had to defend, or at the very least side-eye, nurse practitioners I work with who felt like every time something went missing, it was a person of color, or a black man. I've had a physician who did not do well with women of color, and so she did not give them the best treatment. All that being said, I will say that the problem we have, big picture, is not racist physicians, though they do exist. There's also the ignorance that they're taught through medical history, that when you're coming into medical school, if you're looking at a statistic that says people of color are this and people of color do that, that's what you follow for. Understand that a doctor follows science, okay? The system today is different but the same as the system that our ancestors were forced into. The ideology that people of color need to be controlled and kept submissive has not changed. And how do we do that today? Well, what do? We keep them enclosed through redlining, making sure that as many of us as possible stay in a particular area. We control those areas through our education system, through our legal system, through our medical systems, to make sure that people in those areas stay in those areas. We keep them submissive through Christianity. I don't know what it looks like in every place in this country, but I know in particular most places that are kept in poverty will have two very essential things: a church on almost every corner and a liquor store. And if you go to a more affluent neighborhood, there are churches, not as many, but in general what's absent is a liquor store right in the heart of that affluent neighborhood. That's something I want you to think about. I know that learning your history, your true history it's just a lot to take in, but that's okay. I'm not going to just give you the history and say, here, I'm going to tell you how I digest it, what I do with it, and how I keep myself spiritually well. So for the next video, we're going to really dive deep into the spiritual aspect, mind, body, and soul. We're going to dive into the soul aspect of things. I've given you an introduction to different things, but now I'm giving you a piece of me. What do I do? What do I believe in? What am I learning? And this is a journey that we're going to take together. So I hope you enjoy it. I hope you learn something. Remember to like, subscribe, click on that bell below, and talk to me. Tell me in the comments, what do you think? How are you feeling so far? What's happened to you? Have you experienced something in the healthcare community that you feel that was not fair and not right? You probably have. I want to know about it. Let's be healthy, prosperous, and happy together, y'all. It's time. I thank you again, and I'll see you next time. Bye.